Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, it isn't the start we wanted.
I mean, the reality was just we didn't get the ball in the end zone.
So we're breaking down what went wrong in Seattle last night and why loyal Broncos fans still have faith in a playoff run.
There's a new experiment happening in the metro, how it could help people get off the streets by giving them direct cash.
Plus, if you missed it while you were watching the Broncos, of course, the Emmys were last night, celebrating the best in TV, which clearly I have some catching up to do with the award winners.
You have
from
catching
last
up.
night.
I just realized how much TV I watch because I was like, oh yeah, I know all of them. They're all great. Yeah, they deserve it.
I'm sure you were watching the Broncos last night. It was actually hard to sleep thinking about what could have been.
Yes. Woke up in the middle of the night. Actually.
I couldn't go back to sleep. So we'll break all that down for you this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. And we're going to keep it positive here today, Lisa, in the weather department. Another warm one on tap here.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not snowing today and I'm not giving you that news. Low to mid 50s right now, a pretty nice start to the day. We're going to see again sunshine early on. There will be a little bit more cloud cover here this afternoon, but another good day if your kids want to bike to school. Low 50s by 7, mid to upper 60s right around 9 o'clock. And then we're going to be at near 80 degrees by noon. By the time they get home this afternoon, we're going to hit highs in the mid to upper 80s, near 90 in Denver today. So it is going to be a pretty warm one for us today, 70s for the mountains. There will be a chance for a few more scattered storms and showers in the high country here, mainly down across parts of southwestern Colorado, and a better chance for a little bit of rain here in town tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at that Wednesday cool down and our next chance of rain, Jason, coming up.
And right now the roads are dry, looking pretty good. Overnight construction was all around us here today, and we're looking at some good wrapping up of that activity, whether it's out to the west side of town, out to the east side of town. As we take a look at the camera back here at Quebec, though, I still see some of the construction trucks flashing their lights. You see some of the cones set up here on that eastbound side of I-70 at Quebec, and you'll still see some lane restrictions, but for the most part, you see the drive times are basically back to normal as they're picking up most of the cones for us here this morning. I'm not seeing any other big delays anywhere else around town, south side, north side, 270. That all looks really nice right now.
We had a couple opportunities. I mean, they were there. We just got to capitalize on them, and we didn't.
You know, it just didn't go our way. But guess what? There's 16 more games to go, and there's a lot more football to play.
Yeah, positive attitude this morning. There is a mix of hope and disappointment after the tough loss in Seattle last night. There was so much hype going in, and it came down to the last second. The Broncos fell to the Seahawks by 1 in Russell Wilson's return there. Some missed opportunities, fumbles on the goal line, multiple penalties. Russell Wilson dropped the ball on their final drive at midfield, and then Brandon McManus tried for that record 64-yard field goal, which he barely missed. And the Seahawks escaped with the upper hand 17-16. So while the Broncos regroup today and replay everything from last night, fans are weighing in on their first impressions of this new team.
All right, here's Denver 7's Jason Grenauer with those fan reactions.
You can sum up how a lot of Broncos fans were feeling as they left Lumen Field after that Monday night performance by simply saying, it was sadness, it was frustration, it was disappointment. In some cases, it was even anger for fans who made the trip in from Colorado, who came from this large fan base that the Broncos have here in the Pacific Northwest, all to come to Lumen Field to watch what the Broncos ultimately put out there as a final result. We spoke to Michael from Denver, who probably put it best.
Awful start, terrible penalties. The Broncos did all the things that you're not supposed to do in the first half, like you're just not supposed to do. The false start penalties, turnovers, 2 fumbles on the goal line. Russ looked unsettled. He didn't look comfortable the whole game. Everything was off.
So many fans that we spent the weekend with were excited for this new era of Broncos football, for Russell Wilson's homecoming, for a statement to be made on primetime TV, only to be left with a very bitter pill to swallow. Mike went on to say, yeah, there's some optimism about the future, but man, this one just hurt. Reporting from Seattle, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
Yeah, questions this morning. Should they have played in the preseason? I don't know.
Yeah.
Broncos fans that were watching the game here at home are optimistic, though.
16 more games to go still. So even though it didn't start the way we wanted, Broncos country still staying optimistic for the postseason.
I feel like we're going to at least make the playoffs, if not go to the Super Bowl, babies.
I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
No doubt. We are undefeated till we ain't. We need more of these rings right here. Obviously, Super Bowl 57 will be the crowning jewel for the season.
Yeah, those were a couple of fans watching the game last night at Breckenridge Brewery in Littleton. We will hear a lot more about the improvements Coach Hackett needs to make for Sunday against the Texans coming up in our next half hour.
Well, a memorial service is now in the works for an Arvada police officer killed in the line of duty on Sunday. Officer Dylan Vakoff was 27 years old. The Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation is organizing the event. Investigators say 31-year-old Sonny Almanza is the man who shot and killed Officer Vakoff while he was responding to a large family disturbance near 51st and Marshall early Sunday morning. Almanza now faces several charges, including first-degree murder.
New this morning, Denver will be joining, that is, a growing number of cities experimenting with what's known as a basic income. And it's exactly what it sounds like, giving people cash. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live. So who's getting this money, Christian, and who's giving it?
Yeah, Nicole, the city is trying a new plan to help. So they'll be giving money directly to a group of homeless people to get them off the streets and into housing and ultimately see how this all impacts their lives over the course of a year. The city approved using $2 million in COVID relief money. They are partnering with the Denver Basic Income Project, and people can get up to $1,000 a month. 820 people are in the program now, and Denver's COVID cash investment will support 140 of them who are living in shelters. In order to get the money, they cannot have untreated mental health or substance abuse issues. This is all aimed at helping them move into stable housing and provide support so they can stay housed while also opening up space in the shelters. The program will be evaluated to see how this all impacts housing incomes, the use of shelters, and how it helps with mental health. Other cities that have tried this pilot program are seeing positive results, things like food security and more people getting jobs. City leaders in Denver are really hoping it'll be effective here as well. Reporting live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thanks, Christian. Of course, one of the reasons there's discussion about a basic income is that housing costs are so high in Denver. So we wanted to go a little deeper this morning on the cost of living. We have a new statewide housing report that was just released this morning, and we're uncovering some things in there that both buyers and sellers will want to hear. Let's start with those all-important prices. The median sales price for single-family homes in Denver and around the state actually fell for a fourth straight month to $570,000. That's down $30,000 from the record high 4 months earlier. The Colorado Association of Realtors called it a significant drop, and it means sellers have to price right.
Pricing for that high dollar is just not the game we're playing right now, right? And so pricing for a more competitive sale, maybe not pricing it above 100% of what it's worth. Inventory is going up. So if you want to be the most attractive property on the market, where say there's a lot of competition, you also want to be the best price.
Yeah, a little different these days. If you can't afford to buy or even rent in Denver right now, there is another option. The Denver Housing Authority offers housing vouchers and discounted housing. There is a process, though. Officials told me it starts with a lottery this week. What are people applying for?
So they're actually just entering their name to get a lottery ticket, and there usually are about 20,000 people who enter, and there's about 500 to 1,500 people who will be drawn from that.
Right.
And then about 500 vouchers will be issued. And what that means is that 500 people out of that pool of 500 to 1,500 will actually get a voucher to get a subsidized home.
So there is some criteria. Here are 3 things you need to know. You have to apply online. The window opens at 12:01 a.m. Thursday. It closes at 11:59 p.m. Friday, so you have to get on it fast. To qualify, a single person has to make less than $36,700 a year. For a family of 4, it's $52,400. You can learn more on the Denver Housing Authority's website. Lisa.
It's going to be a pretty dry one for us today. We will see some hazy skies, still some smoke filtering in from the west, and then early tomorrow morning we'll be tracking quite a bit more cloud cover. It's going to be cooler on Wednesday, chance for scattered showers and some, it looks like, thunderstorms. We'll take a closer look at our futurecast for the metro area here over the next 48 hours coming up.
And right now the drive on South Broadway looks fantastic. All the side roads around town, through not only here in Inglewood, but around town, looks really nice. Watch out for the folks that'll be heading through the pedestrian areas as well as the bike lanes. Bike lanes are all looking pretty good for us right now.
Well, as thousands in the UK pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth this morning, there are new concerns about King Charles' ability to keep the Commonwealth united.
And filling up at the pump could get more expensive. The looming strike that could put gas supply chains to a halt.